Ladies and gentlemen, we all have a vision for our lives, a dream, a purpose that we long to fulfill. But I want you to hear me clearly when I say this: God's timing is the key that unlocks your purpose. It's not about rushing to the finish line, but about knowing when to step forward and when to wait. Today, let me share with you 3 powerful ways to know God's timing in your life. First, trust the process of waiting. There's a misconception that waiting is wasted time, but nothing could be further from the truth. In the waiting, you are being prepared. You are being shaped for what's to come. God does not waste seasons. He uses every moment to develop your character, your strength, and your faith. Don't resist the pause. Don't despise the waiting room, because it is there that you are being equipped for the breakthrough that is coming. Trust the process. Second, recognize divine appointments. There are moments in life that cannot be explained by coincidence. You will find yourself at the right place at the right time, and you'll meet the right people who will push you into your destiny. These are divine appointments, moments set by God to guide you toward His purpose. It's not just about what you're doing, it's about who you're meeting and how God orchestrates these encounters. Stay alert, stay open, and watch for these divine connections. They are the signs of God's timing. Third, listen to your inner peace. God's timing often doesn't come with chaos. It comes with peace. You may find yourself in a moment of uncertainty, facing a decision, yet there is a peace that surpasses all understanding guiding you through. It's not the absence of challenges, it's the presence of His calm in the middle of the storm. That peace is a sign that you are in alignment with God's will and timing. Trust that inner peace. When you feel it, move with it. But God's timing is more than just personal moments and decisions. It's about the people He brings into your life. Have you ever noticed that the right people show up at the right time? God places mentors, friends, and even strangers who will help you on your journey when you need them the most. These connections are not by chance, they are a reflection of His perfect timing. Now, I know some of you may be feeling frustrated because you haven't seen the breakthrough yet. You've prayed, you've worked hard, and you're wondering when it will happen. But understand this: God's timing is not bound by human limitations. His sovereignty means that He has a plan that far exceeds anything you can imagine. Trust His timing, because it is always perfect, even when it doesn't make sense to you. As you go through life, remember that everything God does aligns with His greater purpose for you. Every challenge, every victory, every waiting season is part of His divine plan. The pieces of your life are fitting together in ways you may not see right now, but trust me, in due time, you will. His purpose is unfolding and your timing is coming. You see, when you begin to recognize God's timing, you also begin to see transformation in your own life. God's timing is not just about external success, but about shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. It's about molding your character, refining your heart, and preparing you for the victory that's ahead. So I say to you today, trust God's timing. Wait on Him. Recognize the divine appointments. Feel the peace. Understand that everything He's doing in your life is leading to something greater. And know that His timing is perfect. Life is a journey, and along this journey, we all have moments where we feel as though we're standing at a crossroads waiting for direction. We know deep down that there's more for us, more purpose, more potential, but sometimes the path seems unclear and the weight feels unbearable. We wonder, when will my time come? When will the doors open? But let me tell you this today: God's timing is not just a moment that happens, it's a force that works in every season of your life. And understanding His timing will unlock doors, give you peace, and push you closer to your true purpose. I know some of you have been waiting for the breakthrough, the opportunity, the healing, the connection. But I want you to see waiting through a new lens. Waiting is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something powerful is being prepared. God does not rush, and neither should you. His timing is not bound by your clock, but by His perfect wisdom. In those moments when you feel like things are moving too slowly or nothing is happening, trust me, God is at work. He is aligning things in ways you can't yet see. The challenge is that we live in a world that thrives on speed and instant gratification. We are taught to go after what we want and to do it now. But God's way is different. His timing isn't just about when you think something should happen, it's about when you are truly ready for it. It's when your character has been shaped, your faith has been tested, and your heart has been prepared. You see, the purpose of God's timing is not to frustrate you, it's to ensure that when the right moment comes, you are ready to step into it and handle it with grace, strength, and wisdom. That's why it's so important to understand the signs of God's timing in your life. The waiting, the silence, the pause, they're not signs that God is not with you. They're signs that He's preparing something greater for you. And as you begin to recognize these signs, you will walk in a deeper understanding of God's will. You'll understand that His timing is never late, never early, but always right on time. And when you start to trust that, you will see how His hand has been guiding you every step of the way, even in the moments that seemed uncertain or painful. So today I want to help you tune in to the rhythm of God's timing. Because once you learn to recognize it, you will begin to move in sync with the divine purpose for your life. You will find peace in the waiting, strength in the pauses, and an unstoppable confidence in the journey ahead. Trust the process, stay faithful, and know that God is never far away. His timing is working in your life right now in ways that are beyond your comprehension, but always aligned with your purpose. Waiting is often one of the hardest things we face. In a world that demands instant results, it can feel as though time is slipping away, leaving us stuck in a place where we don't know what's next. We want to move forward, but the process of waiting can make us feel like we're standing still. However, let me remind you, in the kingdom of God, waiting is never wasted. It's a powerful time of preparation, growth, and transformation. Think about a seed that's planted in the soil. You don't see the progress right away, do you? It's buried in the dirt, seemingly hidden from the world, but deep beneath the surface, something is happening. Roots are growing. The seed is being nurtured and strengthened in ways that can't be seen with the naked eye. If you dug it up too soon, you would disrupt the process, and it might never have a chance to grow into the strong tree it was meant to be. The waiting is necessary. It's in the waiting that the foundation is built for what's to come. And just like that seed, you may feel like you're in a place of hiding, or maybe like nothing is happening in your life. But understand this, God is working in you even when you don't see it. The waiting process is not a sign of being forgotten. It's a season of development. It's where your faith is tested, your patience is refined, and your strength is built. God uses waiting to mold your character, to help you grow into the person who can handle the blessings and the responsibilities that will come when it's time. I know how tempting it can be to take matters into your own hands when you're in the waiting season. We want to make things happen, to move things forward, to force open doors, but there's a power in surrendering to the process. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. It means trusting that God has a plan for you and that His timing is perfect. You don't have to rush ahead or try to make things happen in your own strength. When you trust the process, you're saying, God, I believe that you know better than I do. I believe that in your timing, everything will fall into place. The truth is, waiting often reveals things about ourselves that we may not even realize. In that stillness, in that quiet, we're forced to confront our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities. It's a time when we learn to rely on God more fully, to lean into His strength rather than our own. The person you are becoming during the waiting is every bit as important as the destination you're moving toward. If you try to skip the waiting, you might miss out on the transformation that prepares you for the next season of your life. So don't despise the waiting. Embrace it. Lean into it. Know that in this season, God is doing something in you that will equip you for what lies ahead. The waiting is not the end of the journey, but rather the preparation for the breakthrough. It's a refining fire that makes you stronger, more resilient, and more in tune with God's purpose for your life. And when the time is right, when you've been equipped and ready, God will open the door and you will step into the fullness of what He has for you. Remember, the process is not your enemy, it is your teacher. Trust it. Embrace it. And watch as God takes you through this season of waiting and into the victory that awaits you on the other side. There are moments in life that can't be explained by mere chance or coincidence. Have you ever experienced a time when everything seemed to fall into place so perfectly that it felt almost too good to be true? Maybe you met someone at the exact moment you needed guidance, or maybe you found yourself in the right place at the right time and a door opened that you never could have predicted. These are what I call divine appointments, the moments when God's hand moves in the most unexpected ways and He places you exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. The beauty of divine appointments is that they often come when you least expect them. You could be going about your normal day not realizing that God is setting something up for you. But then someone walks into your life and it's as if all the pieces of your journey fall into place. A conversation, a connection, or a seemingly random event becomes a pivotal turning point, and you realize it wasn't by chance at all, it was God's perfect timing at work. These are moments designed by God, orchestrated for your growth, for your breakthrough, and for your breakthrough. What's powerful about divine appointments is that they often happen through people, strangers, friends, mentors, or even those you might not initially understand. God often uses people to guide us, to open doors for us, and to direct us on the right path. And when you recognize that, you begin to see that everyone you meet isn't just a person passing through your life. Every encounter, every interaction can be part of the divine plan that God has for you. There are no accidents when it comes to the people you meet. They are part of God's design for your journey. But here's the challenge: you have to be spiritually aware enough to recognize these divine appointments when they happen. Sometimes we're so focused on our own plans, our own timelines, that we miss the signs. We overlook opportunities because they don't look the way we expect them to. We might be waiting for a big breakthrough, but God's breakthrough might come in the form of a small conversation, a chance meeting, or an unexpected invitation. It's not always grandiose or dramatic sometimes. It's in the simple moments that God is working the most. Divine appointments also remind us that God is always working behind the scenes. Even when things feel slow or uncertain, God is positioning people, circumstances, and events in your favor. The connections you make today might not make sense in the moment, but trust that in time you'll see how perfectly they align with the bigger picture of your life. God is arranging things in such a way that what you need will be available when you need it most. It's like a puzzle that's coming together piece by piece, and you won't always see how the pieces fit until you step back and look at the full picture. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen according to your plans. But divine appointments teach us to trust that God's plans are always better than our own. They teach us to be open, to be willing to step into opportunities, and to be receptive to the people God brings into our lives. You may not always understand the purpose of a moment in the moment, but when you look back, you'll see how perfectly it was orchestrated for your growth, your success, and your calling. We live in a world full of noise. Everywhere we turn, there are distractions, demands, and chaos pulling at our attention. The constant pressure to keep moving, keep achieving, and keep up with everyone around us can leave us feeling disconnected from something deeper inside. It's easy to lose sight of the peace that resides within us, especially when the world outside feels like it's in turmoil. But here's the truth: true peace doesn't come from the absence of external noise or external circumstances. True peace is something that's already within you, waiting to be accessed if you're willing to recognize it. Inner peace is not just a feeling, it's a state of being. It's the quiet strength you find within yourself when everything around you seems uncertain. It's that deep, unshakable assurance that no matter what comes your way, you are anchored in something greater than the chaos of the moment. Inner peace comes when you realize that you don't need to control everything, that you don't need to have every answer or even every plan. True peace comes when you stop fighting the circumstances around you and start trusting the process of life that God has for you. The beauty of inner peace is that it's not something that can be taken from you. No matter how much external turmoil there is, peace is yours to hold on to. It's a strength that comes from deep within, and knowing that God has everything under control even when we don't. So often we look for peace outside of ourselves through accomplishments, through relationships, or through material things. But all of those things can fade or change. True peace, the kind that endures, comes from understanding that it is a gift that God has already placed inside of you. You carry it within you, and when you align yourself with God's purpose, that peace becomes a part of everything you do. To understand your inner peace is to understand the value of silence and solitude. In the quiet moments when everything else fades away, you find the opportunity to reconnect with your true self. You hear your thoughts more clearly, and you begin to recognize the voice of God speaking to you, guiding you, reminding you that you are enough, that you are loved, and that you are not alone. The noise of the world will try to drown that voice out. But when you choose to embrace silence, you make room for peace to rise up from within. It's also in the moments of challenge that your inner peace reveals its true power. Life will test you. You will face moments that shake you to your core, moments that try to steal your peace. But when you have a deep understanding of your inner peace, you begin to realize that these challenges are not the end. They are opportunities for growth. And they are the very moments that strengthen the peace within you. The more you lean into God during the storm, the more you realize that His peace can carry you through anything. The journey to understanding your inner peace is one of surrender. It's a surrender of control, of trying to manage every situation and outcome. When you understand that peace isn't about controlling your surroundings, but trusting God in every circumstance, you begin to move differently through life. Your heart becomes steady, your mind clear, and your spirit unshaken. You stop looking for peace in the wrong places and start creating a space for peace to dwell within you, regardless of what is happening around you. The power of inner peace is that it transforms not just you, but the world around you. When you carry peace within, you become a beacon of light to those around you. Your calmness, your strength, and your ability to navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience inspire others to find that same peace within themselves. Your peace is contagious, and it brings clarity and hope to those who are lost in the noise. So don't wait for life to give you peace. Don't wait for everything around you to calm down. Start today by understanding that peace is already within you. Embrace it, nurture it, and allow it to flow into every aspect of your life. When you do, you will find that no matter what comes your way, you will always have an unshakable peace that carries you through. There are moments in life when you realize that everything has aligned perfectly. And it feels as if the universe itself conspired to bring the right people into your life at the exact moment you needed them. You've probably had those moments when you met someone and everything just clicked. It wasn't just a coincidence, it was divine timing. The right people at the right time are not just a nice happenstance, they are part of a bigger plan. They are the people who bring the right energy, wisdom, encouragement, or even challenge into your life when you need it the most. It's easy to think that success, fulfillment, or breakthrough comes from what we do alone, but the truth is, it's often the people who walk alongside us who make all the difference. These are the people who inspire us to think bigger, push further, and reach higher. They are the ones who offer us guidance when we are lost, strength when we are weak, and perspective when we are stuck. They may not always be the people we expect, and sometimes they show up in the most unexpected ways. But when you look back, you see how precisely they were placed in your life to help you grow, to challenge you, and to bring out the best in you. Sometimes we get frustrated because we feel like we are waiting for the right people to show up. We may think that there is a specific person or group who is meant to change our lives, and we hold on to that expectation. But in reality, God sends the right people to us at the right time, often when we are ready for them and when they are ready for us. This divine timing is often not on our schedule, it's on God's. Trust that when the time is right, the people you need will show up. They may come in the form of a mentor, a friend, a business partner, or even a stranger with a word of encouragement. You don't have to force these relationships. When you are open to receiving and allowing the right connections to form, you will be amazed at how perfectly things come together.